If the Donald Trump-Bill Barr bromance was a buddy movie, it would go something like this. Barr is the trusty sidekick, deflecting incoming fire, like deciding that it's up to him as Attorney General to make the call that the president didn't obstruct justice. Got your back, man. Or when he decided to investigate the investigators involved in the Russia probe. But there are limits to Bill Barr's powers. There are ways around him. And so far, some of the most powerful kryptonite for the U.S. Attorney General has been coming from state-level investigators, specifically investigators in New York, Donald Trump's hometown and the headquarters of his business. You saw that in December when the New York Attorney General opened an investigation into the Trump Foundation, and just like that, the foundation folded, whether Bill Barr liked it or not. And in March, when New York State opened an investigation into the Trump Organization's longtime insurance broker, they subpoenaed Trump Org after longtime Trump attorney Michael Cohen told Congress the business had been cooking the proverbial books and inflating the value of its assets and insurance companies. And tonight, we have breaking news about a new development in an investigation aimed squarely at the Trump Organization, this time from the Attorney General in Manhattan. His name is Cy Vance, and today he subpoenaed the Trump Organization. He's asking for documents related to the hush money payments for porn star Stormy Daniels. Those hush money checks, you'll recall, were signed by Donald Trump Jr., and Alan Weisselberg, the chief financial officer of the Trump Organization. Prosecutors said the payments were in coordination with and at the direction of Donald Trump. And prosecutors say that even though the payments were for hush money, the Trump Organization logged them as legal expenses. Turns out that might be a problem for Trump's business, because now, as the New York Times reports, the Manhattan DA is trying to determine whether senior executives at the Trump Organization filed false business records about the hush money, which would be a state crime. Specifically, if they falsely listed the reimbursements as a legal expense. The district attorney is expected to scrutinize the senior ranks of the company, although it's not clear whether the investigation will reach all the way to the president. Now, there's some question about how much of a blow this investigation by the Manhattan DA delivers, since under state law, it might just be a misdemeanor. But here's a thought. Even if it is just a misdemeanor, if this investigation does go forward beyond Bill Barr's reach, where he cannot shut it down, what kind of material might it shake loose? What material might prosecutors end up shedding some daylight on that the public might even get to see? Joining us now is Barbara McQuade, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan. Barb, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks, Joy. Thanks for having me.
So let's answer that last question first. If an investigation is into a crime, a potential crime that would not be a felony, it'd be a misdemeanor, is the discovery process still the same?
Yes. So the grand jury subpoena here, I think, has asked for any and all documents relating to the treatment of this payment. And so, they have to have a good faith basis for a crime. In this instance, it appears to be this falsification of business records. But in the course of receiving all of those things, if they should find evidence of additional crimes within those documents, they're absolutely free to charge any of those crimes that they find.
And how would it be a misdemeanor to falsify your business records to cover up a hush money payment?
Yeah, so the statute makes it a misdemeanor to simply falsify a business record, but there's an aggravated version of that crime if you are using that false document to conceal or commit another crime. Then it becomes a felony. It's not clear to me whether a federal crime qualifies as that other crime, but my hunch is that it might. And so it could very well be that if the books were falsified to conceal a campaign finance violation, that could turn this misdemeanor into a felony.
And would it be possible, as this investigation goes on, or likely that Michael Cohen could wind up testifying in this case?
I think he very well could. And don't forget, not only would we hear from Michael Cohen, but there are recordings that Michael Cohen made with himself and Donald Trump. You know, when you have someone like Michael Cohen, who has a lot of baggage and has lied before and has very questionable credibility, what prosecutors try to do is corroborate what they have to say with documents, recordings, and other witnesses. And so that recording where he's talking with President Trump about the payments and creating the false shell company and all those kinds of things could really help bolster his credibility if it comes to his testimony.
And just to be crystal clear, is there anything that William Barr, Donald Trump's consigliere / attorney general, could do to stop this investigation or to intervene in it?
No, he really couldn't. And, you know, in any federal case, the attorney general is the boss of anybody bringing those charges. And so he does have that ability. In a state case, he has no ability whatsoever. It's a separate sovereign. And also don't forget that the DOJ opinion from the Office of Legal Counsel that says a sitting president cannot be indicted, that only binds federal prosecutors. And so we may see that test in the Supreme Court about whether the Constitution prohibits it, but there's no policy that would prohibit the Manhattan District Attorney from bringing charges against the sitting president.
Oh, tick, tick, tick. This is going to be very interesting. Barbara McQuade, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan. Thank you very much. Great to have you with us.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you very much. And much more ahead tonight, including the latest very strange phone call between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Stay with us.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.